He has composed music for some of the most popular shows on TV, including the hit Netflix show House of Cards. And this week, Jeff Beal is here in Rochester sharing what he's learned with students at the Eastman School of Music. Norma Holland is with him this morning, and he's sitting right by the piano. How cool is he, Norma?
He's really so down to earth for a man who has been, he's won awards, he's been nominated for Emmys. He's a guy who's pretty accomplished, but he comes back to Rochester. He's a graduate of the Eastman School of Music, and he composed that haunting, beautiful intro song to House of Cards that fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Jeff is with us today. We're talking about you being in Rochester. You're meeting with students. You're talking to them about the profession, right? That there is a career to be had in composing, right?
There is. In fact, it was listed as one of the fastest growing careers just in some study last year, and I was really shocked. But when you think about all the music being created, not only for film and TV, but for video games and the internet and everywhere, there's probably never been more content created for media. So on the creative side, we're encouraging the composers, and on the performance side, I'm also really fun to get so many students. We've probably got about 80 students performing this music because, whether or not you're in Hollywood, even if you're in a symphony orchestras all around the country are started really embracing film music as part of their literature, and it's really fun for me to see that happening. It's music that we relate to because it's from our time, and to go into a symphony hall and hear something that we can immediately sort of recognize or relate to is a way into enjoying something,
Well, there's no doubt that the music in House of Cards is distinctive. It is, when you hear it, all I can imagine is Frank Underwood sitting at a table plotting.
That evil guy,
That evil guy who you met, right, along with Claire Underwood, Robin Wright Penn. So the song itself, you'll be performing as part of a number of selections this weekend at Kodak Hall at 8 o'clock on Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's really fun because, this theater over here, which used to be Eastman Theater, we're sort of bringing it back to its roots in the sense that we're going to be projecting footage for pretty much everything that will be presented at the concert will be to film. So it's really going to be, I don't know if you ever had this experience, but to see a movie and have a whole 80-piece live orchestra playing, it's really a thrilling experience. So I'm really happy.
And it's free, okay? Did I mention that? It's free, okay? It's a free concert, and you get to hear the likes of Jeff Beal. Jeff and his wife met here at Eastman many years ago, and his son performs on the House of Cards themes song as well. His wife sings sort of those eerie sounds, those eerie interludes in the show. Jeff, I want you to play a little bit for us.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay?
I would love to, and it's funny. One of my favorite relationships in the show is the Frank and Claire show.
Yeah.
And relationship, I mean. And there's a theme that I wrote that sort of became their love theme, and you can imagine what their love theme would sound like. It's a little dark, it's sort of twisted, So I wrote this little waltz for them. There's a scene in the very first pilot. Remember when he comes back to the apartment, it kind of has to tell her they didn't get that job.
Yeah.
And he stays up all night smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it's almost film noirish, and it's got this really sort of moody, it's got this mood to it, you know. And it just felt like it's something that worked for them. And that's one of my favorite things to score in the show when I'm writing the scores, those really sort of cool moments, those Frank and Claire sitting at the window smoking a cigarette.
They're secret cigarettes. They're supposed to not, they're not supposed to smoke, but they do it anyway.
Well, as a dramatist, I mean, as a film composer, you're really a dramatist. So I'm just fascinated by the little twists and turns. And it's funny, I felt this way about a lot of things. Villains are really fun to score.
Frank is my favorite my favorite villain, and again, don't miss it. Jeff Beal this Sunday at Kodak Hall. It's a free concert, and Jeff, why don't you play a little of that haunting intro? I love it.
You got it.